All right, let's talk some Iron Bowl. Our buddy John Samuel Shenker is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It is the next round presented by Bud Light, who reminds you to decide to ride, especially this holiday season. Have a plan in place before you ever take that first drink. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light says that is how you decide to ride. What is up, John Samuel Shenker? How are you today?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Good win for you guys. It was a 17-17 game at the half, and I was really impressed by the play of Alston Reed, Western Kentucky's quarterback, but you guys took a stranglehold of that game in the second half.
Yeah, we knew going in, especially for their offense, they were really good. That quarterback is really impressive. And we knew we had to score points. We came out early playing really well, and then the second quarter was a pretty bad quarter for us on both sides of the ball. And then the second half, we came out. We were ready to go. We knew that we had to play a lot better in the second half, and I think we did that.
You did do that. As you get ready for Alabama this weekend in the always important Iron Bowl, what are some things that are working for your offense now? I know you were not pleased with the 60 minutes of offense, but there are things that have been working since Carnell and that coaching staff sort of made a switch. What things are working for you guys right now?
Well, I think right now, just with the run game and having Jarquez and Tank both over 100 yards last few games, I think that's what's been a huge part of our success is being able to run the football. Obviously, this week we probably won't be able to run it as much as we have in the past, just with how good Alabama's defense is. So, but we like to hang our hat on the run game. We think that's been really good in the past few weeks, and that's what we'll continue to do.
There was a terrific photo of you and some of your teammates after the game sitting in Jordan-Hare Stadium smoking a cigar one last time. Scott's showing it to our viewers right now. I mean, that is a framer right there. I don't know if you can get it, but you just sitting there smoking a cigar overlooking the field. What's going through your mind at that moment? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, so we were just sitting there, just kind of reminiscing on that game, and then just really on the time that we've had at Auburn. And we did that a little bit last year. I think that tradition started last year. And for the seniors, it is a special time just to sit back and reflect on Jordan-Hare and what that place means to us and never be able to play it again. So that it was a special moment for us to be together one last time in that stadium.
Now, you've played more games than anybody in Auburn football history. You now hold the record for that. But I would guess even for you, it has to feel like it has flown by.
Oh yeah, that was the one thing we talked about is, it feels like we've only been here a couple of years. Just how fast time really does fly. The days may be long, but the years are really short. And that was something we talked about. And all the seniors really understand that now that, the season's coming to an end, and something that now we're just grateful to be a part of.
Any regrets? I mean, I know one of the saddest things in life is to look back and you have regrets, and I know it hasn't always been exactly what you wanted, but would you say no regrets?
Yeah, no regrets, especially coming to Auburn. I would do that over 100 times. And then being here, yeah, there's no regrets for me. I feel like I did some things that I wanted to do and enjoy my time at Auburn, and very grateful for that opportunity.
Obviously, you guys know how important the Iron Bowl is to the fans in this state. It's a rivalry game. As you start looking at Alabama, as you start throwing on the tape on your iPad and you start breaking them down, what's the one thing they do that impresses you on the defensive side of the football?
Well, I think at all levels, from the D-line to linebackers to the back end, they're really, really smart in how they play. If you have tendencies or weaknesses, they will exploit it. They know them heading into games, and that's something I've taken from every time we played them is they're going to exploit your weaknesses, and that's something we'll look for this week. But they play really hard. I mean, I know that they've lost a few games, and people are all over media about it, but they're still a really good football team. They have some really great players on defense, starting with number 31.
Can you go back to maybe this scouting report, but other scouting reports in the past? I've always been told that Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and whomever's defensive schemes is so complicated that motion can really, make everyone have to adjust so many times as someone moves throughout their motion. Is that something that you always try to do against an Alabama or a Kirby Smart team, a lot of motion to make them check a number of times on every play?
Yeah, you never want to just line up in a formation and run. A lot of teams are getting away from that. You always want to have some sort of motion or just moving the back from one side to the other. You always want to have something to keep them on their toes and keep them thinking, and maybe they, miss a few here and there and you get big runs or big throws. So, yeah, you definitely want to try to confuse them as much as possible. But they do like to bring a lot, and their defenses are very complex. So we'll definitely have our hands full from that standpoint.
John Samuel Shenker, the Auburn tight end, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It is the next round presented by Bud Light, who reminds you to decide to ride, especially this holiday season. Have a plan in place before you ever take that first drink. That's how you decide to ride with Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. You mentioned especially number 31, Will Anderson. How often did you have to help block him last year?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to know where that guy is on the field, and last year was no different. We help with chipping out before going routes and things like that. You got to keep him contained because he's a really special player. So, but yes, you always have to know where that guy is at all times.
Yeah, and the problem with Alabama is this year they've developed. Dallas Turner came on at the end of last year. He's really good on the other side too. They make it, I would assume, and I don't know football like you do, they make it difficult to scheme away from one or the other. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you can't just negate the other guy. He's pretty talented as well. But yes, that's what makes him good is when you have a guy like Dallas Turner on the other side, you just can't forget about a guy like that. So it creates issues, and that's why they have success is you're normally not able just to single on one guy. They have a lot of good players.
Listen, your atmosphere at Jordan-Hare Stadium is second to none. Are you looking forward to being a big part of Auburn in a game where there's actually fans in the stands at Bryant-Denny Stadium? Because last time you were there and you were a big part of it, it was the COVID year and it was a partial crowd. Are you looking forward to sort of getting the full road experience?
Yeah, last time was unfortunate just for the Iron Bowl. You want it to be the biggest environment possible. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This experience is unique, and the Iron Bowl is one of a kind. So definitely looking forward to having that stadium packed again.
Well, we look forward to it as well. Thanksgiving is coming up. Give me the perfect plate of Thanksgiving food for John Samuel Shenker.
Definitely going to be a fried turkey with mac and cheese, sweet potato casserole, and then for dessert, probably pumpkin pie.
My man. Do you fry the turkey?
I do not, but I believe my father-in-law is going to.
Oh, yeah. That's
see,
the way to go right there.
All of a sudden, that marriage paying more dividends. That's another check
right
on the checklist.
Yep, go to the in-laws.
That's right.
Yeah. Does he inject it? Does he use like the Cajun injector or anything, or is it just straight fried turkey?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him do it. This will be the first time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
See, now, when you tell people about your time with us through this NIL deal, make sure you point out that we ask you much more complicated cooking questions than we ever do football questions.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right, getting the real life stuff.
Well, hey, have a great Thanksgiving with the family, and we can't wait to see you at the Iron Bowl Saturday. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy, take care. John Samuel Shenker with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It is presented by Bud Light, who reminds you to decide to ride. Look, we talk a lot about the holiday season. I know many of you go out to parties this time of year. Have a plan in place before you ever take that first drink, right? When you're thinking clearly, that's how Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light remind you to decide to ride.